for those of you who don't know me and what I do by day, I've got to go with the original message that I wanted to deliver when I got up here tonight. By practice during the day hours, I've had the privilege of 29 years, I guess, as a day job of working as an economist in Canada and a global money manager. And I'll tell you, being involved with a charity is like running a business. And I can honestly say the last couple of years, working with this group has been one hell of a challenge. If you think the economy has been through quite a bit of a run in the last, say, 24 months, this charity has really had to pull it out, I would say, the last 3 years anyway. And it's really been hats off to the group that I've been associated with. As you can tell from the people who are here tonight, we're not a big group, but we are one of several groups in Canada that are here to try to represent the interests of what is perhaps bantered around, the estimate of maybe 600,000 to 3 million people suffering from these diseases. That's a lot of people. And when you look at it from the perspective of my day job and what is going on in the economy, that's taking a lot of people. When you hear these stories in this video, taking a lot of people away from day-to-day business, taking a lot of people out of their professions, changing the demographic of this country. And if I go back 20 years in my profession and I look at Canada as a wealthy nation, relative to the rest of the world, we would be part of that global community that was part of that one group that was generating 60% of what was, at that time, 20 years ago, 60% of the gross domestic product of this globe. And as we've seen in the last few years, there's been this shift. And I mean, people like to joke about it and make cracks about it, when they go into Walmart, you go into the different stores today and you're seeing a lot of goods and products and so forth. Coming out of China, out of India, out of these new developing economies around the world. And that 60-40 split is now changing. And we're seeing this real radical change where the economic shift is occurring, and we're starting to see good old Canada, the United States, and some of the mature economies becoming the 40% and not the 60%. And really, when I look at it and I see the significance of the numbers of 600,000 people to 3 million people in Canada suffering from these diseases across a wide spectrum of jobs in the economy, can we afford to be sitting back and really doing nothing? And when I see some of the advancements that our small group has been able to do on what has really been a watered down, so we actually say pure budget to run the charity, I think we've done some remarkable things. And what we now are embracing is sort of that next generation of being able to communicate and bring the community of these sufferers together. So, I want to start off tonight by thanking my fellow board members and some of the advisors in here, some of the people who've been associated with the group for a long, long time, like John Ernst, who's grinning in the background right now, who somehow or another keeps coming back to the fold, like all of us, and finding a way to contribute, and the new people, who are now adding to new life to the group through embracing the new technology through video and video magazines. As many people have said, I think, through the dynamic of communicating, sharing stories, we've gotten past the point of the acknowledgement stage. The education, the awareness is there. As David has pointed out, we have produced a series of guides. I've been involved with the University of Ottawa, third-year medical students now that I've had the pleasure of talking to have actually made reference to these guides as part of their curriculum, and have actually, have it incorporated into part of their educational process now, which is something that wasn't perhaps there 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So On that note, rather than what we had formally put together, which was going to be a question and answer period for what we were hoping would be a larger gathering, but I'm going to blame it on the rain that the region has not seen for many, many weeks, and was well overdue here this morning. I'm going to say the rain chased everybody away. We can do that informally just by through mingling in a crowd, have some refreshments and whatnot. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Perhaps take the one message out tonight. I think we're going to be faced with some real big challenges moving forward. When I talk about changes happening around the world and that, just to give you one simple example, this morning overseas, over in Greece, the Athens government produced an edict where they asked pharmaceutical companies to drop the prices of all pharma drugs in that market by 25%. And the largest producer of diabetic drugs, Novo Nordisk, decided to pull out a lot of the insulin-produced drugs and care products out of the Greek market this morning. So you want to talk about fundamental change and the speed in which change is happening around this world of ours. When I say that this community has to come together, and we have to find new ways of bringing this community together and in a very fast and rapid way, this is where I say I'm very enthusiastic about some of the new things that we're trying, and ways to communicate amongst ourselves, but also to government, to pharma companies, and show them the importance of advancing research and technology and new drug treatments, for our patients and clients. So thanks very much.
Thank you very much.